Hello everyone, this is Katerina and I'll bring you the solar eclipse report for this week's solar eclipse on Saturday. It's going to be super powerful. It's conjunct Uranus, and Uranus is the planet of awakening and total transformation. My guides already told me this solar eclipse is going to act like a phoenix, and I said, wow, what's going to happen when we enter that ring of fire? And already on Friday, on the 29th, I'll do the activation, and that leads us right into the solar eclipse. And I just checked today the Mayan galactic signature code for Friday, and that's a galactic activational portal day. That means on a day like that, on the Friday and Saturday, you can really count the entire weekend as massive transformative. High solar codes are streaming in. We already have intense solar flares. And when I asked my guides, what is the overall energy of that eclipse season we're in? We have the solar eclipse on this weekend, then we have the 5/5 portal next week, and on the 16th of May we have the lunar eclipse, and on the 20th, around in 3 weeks time, it's when it comes to completion, when both energies merge together, and I do an activation on that day as well. So I'm really feeling that intense upgrade we are all in, and the overall topic is really the great unification, or the great cycle of unification. And I said to my guides, what does this entail? And they said, well, all forms of separation are under review at the moment, and deep healing are occurring. So whatever you feel in your life that felt out of sync, or where you felt separate, or where things weren't flowing for you in the same way, you may even feel it might be intensified at the moment as it's all coming to the surface to be released for us. And I said to my guides, so how is it going to go? And they said, well, over the weekend, you could say Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it can happen in a flash. That all the programs, ancestral lineage issues can be cleared in a flash, literally like a phoenix. You turn it into ashes and then you rise in a new form. And the other one was outdated soul identities. So who we were in 3D, 4D, 5D, whatever dimension you were in, there's still in different timelines, different aspects of you that are living those programs. And whoever of our multidimensional self is highest can always provide us with the latest codes and frequencies. And that leads me to the next point of that great unification. Many of us are, especially if you're attracted to this information and you're still listening to me, you are an ancient being on earth. You might be a starseed that popped down for a couple of cycles to help down here, or you're the first time around, or you are somebody who's a way shower who came on galactic mission, say in the beginning of the time on earth. And then the sacred wisdom keepers, those of you who incarnated often in native settings, who are very in tune with the grid system, with nature, with communication with nature, and also that attunement to the real web of life, that all life forms on earth are totally connected. It doesn't work any other way. It's one living web of life. So all of you who are drawn to that information, you are also very aware of times of Lemuria, which were heart-based, intuitive, very aligned with the divine feminine. And then we had Atlantis, which was really enhancing our intellectual capacities, logical mind structure, and that you would say is more a male quality. And now those two merge together as one again. So the solar eclipse will activate our ancient achieved mastery in Atlantis. So the time before it fell, we've reached incredible heights of capacities. And my guide said, so it's a great unification, you could say, on the solar eclipse. It's so excited about it, as you can see. So the ancient levels of mastery, and it could be other civilizations that came thereafter in a similar energetic imprint. These are activating your DNA. So your ancient mastery that you've achieved prior will merge with your multidimensional self and your future. Boom, all happening within you. And then good luck with embodying your higher self. And we have tons and tons of support. So my guides are ensuring me that all higher realms are really behind us. We have the angelic realms, the archangelic realms, we have the Alvin, the mystical beings like the Pegasus, the unicorn, the dragons, phoenix, beings like that. Merlin is overseeing that realm really strongly. Masters of alchemy helping us, especially with the solar eclipse transmutation when we enter the sacred fire. And then we have gods and goddesses. Loads of the gods and goddesses have galactic origin. And for this solar eclipse activation, I'm being prepared since 3 weeks. I've been traveling to several sacred sites, worked with them, or they worked with me, or however you want to look at this. We've downloaded and anchored the codes. And I've never needed to prepare for an activation 3 weeks in a row prior to it. And I still have a couple of days to go. So that gives me an indication of the scope of change and frequencies coming in that I'm then so happy to share with you all in the activation. And the gods and goddesses that are from other systems like Sirius, masters of Sirius like Isis and Osiris, Thoth or Tehotet, he is pronounced differently. And they are all stepping strongly forward because they also had high times in Atlantis. So you may feel drawn to a new set of guides, new power animals step forward. And, you know, we're in for a huge acceleration. It's like we start here and we're going to go higher and higher and higher. And the 5-5, that's next week. And I will do next week a separate video about it. My guides just showed me today where I need to go for that one in preparation for the lunar eclipse. It's like Christ Almighty. And then we have the lunar eclipse, and it's all merging together as one on and around the 20th of May. So we have an intense time ahead of us. It's like 3.5 weeks or so. And my guides also said it's that cycle of great unification and joyful manifestation. Because when you allow yourself these higher levels of mastery to stream into your system, to activate you, to allow yourself to be that mighty, powerful being once more, we can all create so much more love and unity on planet Earth. And we are also with that, especially the solar eclipse, it's helping us to extract our frequencies from the old matrix, from belief systems, programs, any way where we are still engaged in it, or where our higher energies are still held in it. It's almost like you can see little filaments of light going through, and all of them, they will merge into the highest available ascension timeline. And we are still in the process of activating, anchoring, and downloading a higher version. So that's continuously accelerating. And what I feel at the moment, it's a time where the less engagement with 3D is easier. It's not like you have to avoid it, but if you can just step back from it as much as possible, it will help you to have an easier ride. The more engaged we are, the more we check what's going on out there, to know what's going on, the more we guys, it's just explaining it. So the more actively you yourself choose to withdraw from it and draw your energies towards you into that higher timeline, the easier. Otherwise, you have that pull from the 3D matrix, the magnetics that try to keep you back, and then it's going to be a harder journey or more intense. And my guide said to me, the new normal is constant high energetic intensity, and I think there are only a few days here and there where it's like just unwind for a minute and enjoy this moment while it lasts, because boom, and the next wave is coming. And I think keeping up that momentum isn't always easy. I struggle at times as well. I'm like, guides, I went through so many portals, so many upgrades. I can't catch up with it. I still have a physical body. And then to know how to unwind, I find that really challenging at times, because I get extremely wired with solar flares. I've always been highly sensitive to them. And I mean, the higher energies go, the more receptive you are. It's an interesting journey, and I'm sure you can relate to that, where you feel like, Christ Almighty, it's getting more and more, and how do I stay grounded? And with Gaia shifting into a higher bandwidth, it's also that our body itself is anchoring naturally a higher dimensional frequency, and you may feel the need to rest more, allow yourself to rejuvenate. We here in the northeast of England, we had a couple of days sunshine, which was absolutely fantastic because we have an extremely late spring. And my guides and Ashtar said Gaia is deliberately delaying the warmth and the intensity because the plant life needs to adjust to this higher frequency of 5D that Gaia has merged into. And plants are highly sensitive to higher vibrational frequencies. And if the intensity would be too much of a shock, the plants couldn't quite merge with it. So one of the ways to do this apparently is to make it a little bit cooler and adjust it over time. So there hasn't been any active human weather interference. It's literally Gaia or the planetary consciousness herself saying, oh God, let's just ease it out a bit. On a human level, it would be so nice to have some warmth and sunshine after that intensity, but I'm aware when I was sitting in the sun, I could really feel those new activations coming in, and today it just poured with rain. So I think that's leveling it out. And on one level, when you can step outside, and I imagine it must be like this for the galactics, you know, when you watch the show and it's like, oh my God, what's going on down there? It's so mesmerizing, and they can see the increase in light, they can see what we're releasing in density. We become more susceptible to higher dimensional frequencies. They also said more people hear higher frequencies, more people feel solar flares, people getting more sensitive, and that's already enhancing our interdimensional connection. And let's see what the light language is for today. I took some cards, and it was all about sovereignty, light language, new codes, and expressing higher frequencies. So I'm curious. As usual, you can connect with your heart, connect with all the souls of a higher frequency, the golden solar light web. Niwashke kese se iwa kakana namaha iwa kaka na masa she ishkakana namasa ishkaka sasanamaha niwashe na maha niwashe na masana iwashke kese sa na maha. Iyananamasa, Iyananamasa, Iya Shishika Kanamaha, Niwa Sisinamaha, Ikikina Namasa, Niwash Kikisa Sanananamaha, Miwa Kikisi Ikikina Namasa, Niyananamasa, Uwa Shishikikina Namasa. Uwa shishiki na masa, niyashkakana masa, niyashkiki sasa ashkakana namaha, ashkakana na ma siwa kiki na namaha, siwa kiki sasa namaha. Niwiana, 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 Niwiana. Masa. Iwa na na me me se se kakana maha. Iwa shishi kakana namasa. Ni se se kakana na maha. Ni se se kakana na maha. Aka, aka, aka. Aka, aka, aka. Blessed it be, so mote it be, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, the Divine Masculine was stepping forward when my voice was getting deeper, and the Divine Feminine. And that is also part of that great unification. The Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine come into a new balance and a new set of divine harmonious flow, and that is for all levels of separation. So there was this twin flame energy coming through that is also going to be a big part of the activation on Friday. I've already worked with twin flame energies from different Atlantean templates, different masters that are all stepping forward on Friday, shifting your personal relationship, your inner harmony of who you are, your intuitive, logical, and structural flow, your inner courage, your sovereignty. The Galactic High Council was giving us a blessing and saying we have the highest support available at our time, at our journey we are on, and they are also going to step forward on Friday. Ashtar Command will distinctively speak to us in the activation. He has a special set of codes coming in. And then this deep sonic sound was the whale consciousness. They are really, really communicating with us. And the marine life has already easily adapted to 5D. So anyway, where you're near water, that is a place where it's easier to shift into those higher frequencies. Then the Lyrans came forward and they said it's such an honor and blessing to be with us at this time, that we're allowing these higher galactical beings to support us so strongly, and that's just making my heart sing. And yeah, I wish you all the brightest of blessings. I look forward to all of you who join me on Friday, the 29th of April, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. UK, 7 p.m. Central European Time. And I'm sure we receive the most beautiful, glorious, transformative, powerful flow, all of us. And may you have the most wonderful solar eclipse. And I see you in about a week's time. Bright blessings to you. Namaste.